people that don't know you but seem to just hate you so much. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. Sometimes you need an education. You need to know that behavior is not acceptable. The fact that now people are watching their numbers and like people associate their self-worth and success with how many likes they get, how many like comments they get. Yo, whoa, why am I crying? I guess this is hitting home.
You again when the lights blind. I hope I get to see you again. Hope I get to see you again, you know. They never know the story of us before the glory.
Hello beautiful people, I am Mimi of Just Doing Me. Welcome back to my channel. We are looking good and we are definitely feeling good. To my bestie's barbecue, I just need to sort out my hair, and I thought, you know what, let me just talk to you guys, kill two birds with one stone. This wig, by the way, is linked in my description box. I know y'all will ask. I made it myself. This is only the second wig I've ever made in my life, and I honestly think I might have to like start a new profession because apparently I is a wig slayer. I don't know, I'm joking, but yeah, I feel like I did a pretty good job. This hair is from aliunicehair. It's 24, one bundle of 24, one bundle of 26 and two bundles of 28. All the hair info is in my description box. It's got some loose curls in it that I literally did 2 weeks ago, but they've been holding up pretty well. But I definitely want to put the curls back in. Okay, let me move this a bit further back so y'all can see more of the hair. See, yeah, it's super long. I can't even really get all of it in the frame. Yeah, so I'm just going to reset the curls again. The hair does hold the curls really good. I made this wig about a month ago and I can definitely say this hair doesn't shed. I've never said that about any hair I've ever had, because in my opinion I feel like all hair sheds. I've never had any hair that didn't shed up until now, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not realizing, but like this is 28 inches. I feel like I would notice. So yeah, I lose a bit of hair here and then, but like shedding, not really. Like this hair, poof. Yes, so we are going to get into this video today, and you've probably seen it from the title that I'm going to be talking about kind of like a sensitive topic, in that it's about mental health issues. Now, let me just first and foremost say I've never suffered from any mental health issues, so I'm not going to say like, you know, I can relate to what people are going through. I've been very down before in the past, so I can bring that perspective to it, but I'm definitely not coming into this and saying, oh, I suffer from mental health issues and, you know, this is what it's like, because honestly, I don't really know what it's like. And I think sometimes that is the downfall, especially in the black community. People that don't suffer from it, we can't really picture it. Like, we can't really understand when people are saying, you know, they were going through such hard times they wanted to kill themselves. Like years ago I was like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, how are you going to be that selfish that you're going to leave your friends and family? That was honestly my thoughts about, you know, people that committed suicide. And it's not until like maybe the last 3-4 years, I know some of you may know that I lost one of my best friends to suicide last year, and it was something I and her had actually spoken about before, because she lost her father to suicide, and I was at the time, like many years ago, this was probably 8 years ago, we had this conversation, and I just thought, you know what, that's so selfish of your dad to do that. How can he leave his kids? How can he leave you guys behind like that? And she was just like, no, like that's not how she sees it. Like, he must have been going through a lot, because she knew her dad loved her, and she was like, he must have been going through a lot to leave us and to take his own life. By the way guys, I'm using the Babyliss straighteners to curl my hair. I always use my straighteners. I've had these ones for maybe 4 or 5 years. So yeah, like it's not really until recently, in speaking to someone who's kind of experienced it and been through that situation in her family, that I started to really realize, actually, if you've never been through it, if you've never, you know, been so low that you couldn't see your way out, then then you can't really relate, you can't really understand. And for me, it's a bit concerning because, wait, I've just straightened you. Do I need to go get myself a mirror? No, it's alright. I'm a bit concerned because I feel like in the last few weeks of being on YouTube, I have seen at least 7 different influencers, YouTubers that I watch, talk about their battle with depression, talk about, you know, some of them are still going through it, some of them have come out of it on the other side and are sharing their story to educate others. And I was just thinking, rah, like, how can so many people and so many influencers particularly be going through this battle? And it made me really start thinking, like, what about me? Like, what is my mental state like as a YouTuber? And I remember when I did my reading my hate comments video, and I kind of burst into tears and I broke down, which I was not expecting to do. I'm legit one of the strongest people I know. I don't like to get too emotional, especially about haters. I'm just like, ugh, you're not gonna break me, damn it. But I broke down on that video, and it was just like, just seeing the level of hatred, the level of animosity, the level of like people just wishing you bad, people that don't know you abusing you, calling you out of your name. Like, the names I have been called in my 2 years on YouTube are literally insane to me. People that don't know you but seem to just hate you so much. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. If you don't like my videos or my content, what is stopping you from leaving? I have people that come back to every single video just to leave a hate comment. I'm like, look, are you like an undercover fan? Like, what is the situation? And I definitely feel like I'm coping a lot better with it now, but I do wonder, because I know I'm very strong, but what about all the people that aren't so strong and are going through this? How are they coping? And I can see from so many of them talking about, you know, how fragile their mental state has been recently, that they're not really coping very well. You know, and I think sometimes, do people online realize the impact of their words? Like, do you realize just how to heart some of the things you say to influencers, like how deep it cuts? Because if you did, would you still say it? Some people, I think, definitely would probably say it even harder if they realized actually they were getting to, you know, the person they're attacking. Because some people only do this to get a rise out of you. They do this to like break you down. That's what they want to see. And I've just started to realize as well that people that are doing like this, they're basically not happy in their own lives. And when people are not happy, they tend to want to tear others are down, especially people who seem to be happy. You know, they want to bring you down, they want to break you down, they want you to be in the same state that they're in. You know, that very popular saying, misery loves company. So like, I'm trying now to treat my haters with a lot more understanding and a lot more positivity. In the past, I used to just go off. Like, if you called me names, I would call you back names. Now for me, I'm trying to just block and delete. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, I might have to check you, just depending on just how disrespectful you've been. Sometimes you need an education, you need to know that behavior is not acceptable. But I am trying to just be more mature, because they'll never stop. And I think it's really sad, because for so many young people to be going through this, first of all, it's a condition of our generation. Social media, I definitely feel like, plays a huge part in the problems that we're having. Like, the fact that now people are watching their numbers, and like people associate their self-worth and success with how many likes they get, how many like comments they get. Everybody's watching their social media, everybody's trying to grow their influence. Even if you're not an influencer, you still like watch how many likes your photos get. People delete photos that didn't get a certain amount of likes, and it's sad that our generation has become like this. But if you can imagine what it's actually like for an influencer, who this is their job and they're measured against, you know, how many likes they get. Brands will not work with you if you don't get likes, if you don't get views. So for them, it's even more pressing. And one of the worst things I would say about being a YouTuber is like it's one of the few jobs in the world that you can work so hard at, work ridiculously hard at, and you're not guaranteed any results. I know YouTubers that have been doing this ish for over 7 years, and people that came like maybe, you know, a year or 2 years ago have like 20 times the number of subscribers they have, and they say comparison is the thief of joy and you shouldn't compare yourself, but that is hard, trust me. I know that is hard not to compare yourself. You start to think, what am I doing wrong, you know? Like, why do people not like me? You feel like people don't like you. If people don't watch your content, they don't like your videos, you feel like it's a personal thing. Why do people not like me? Why do they like this other person? Wait, this one's curlier than this one, so I'm just gonna straighten it out a bit. Why do they like this other person more than they like me? What does this other person have that I don't have? And you know, you see that a lot with a lot of influencers. They're watching what other people are doing, they're comparing themselves, and it is breaking them down. So a message to influencers: try not to compare yourself, try not to watch what others do. I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to try for your own peace of mind, you know. And so yeah, what I'm saying is really hard to do a job that you can invest thousands in, you can invest hours in, and there is just zero guarantee that it will ever pay off. It's kind of out of your control. If the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you, you know, good luck, babe. Like, good absolute luck to you. So for me, that's been quite hard, you know. Even for me, I feel like my channel does pretty well, but you do get down on yourself and you do think, oh, what am I doing wrong? How come this video didn't get the views that video got? Like, yeah, it's hard. And I kind of want to say to viewers, be kinder, because your words do have impact. If you don't like someone, have you heard of the saying, did you know that you can dislike someone without leaving a comment? Did you know that? Did you know that you can dislike someone and just click X and leave? Were you aware that you could do that? Because it seems to me like so many people are not aware that, like, you can just click the X at the top of the screen and just, you never have to see that person again if you don't really want to. Some people feel like until they have said their negativity, until they have said their hatred, their life is not complete. They cannot leave. And it's like, for me, it's a bit mind baffling, because I have never, in all the videos on YouTube that I have watched in all my many years, I have never taken it upon myself to leave anyone a hate comment. Like, if I don't like you, it's bye, you know. What's that saying that they say as well? If you have nothing good to say, don't say anything. Just leave. You don't have to say anything. If you have nothing good to say, it's okay. We understand. Not everyone's gonna like us. You can leave. Not everyone's gonna like my content. I completely understand that. But something that really sparked me doing this video is there's a TV show in the UK called Love Island, and there was this girl that was on it 2 years ago, and it's on at the moment now, and everybody's watching it. Celebrities are watching it. Paris Hilton's tweeting about it. Like, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but so many celebrities are basically obsessed with the show. The whole nation is obsessed with the show. And there was a contestant that was on it 2 years ago, and it came out, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, that she killed herself. Laura Graydon. No, Sophie Graydon, my bad. She killed herself. Now, at the time I was watching the show 2 years ago, I saw her on it and I liked her. She wasn't like my favourite or anything, but I did like her. Something that was so noticeable about this young, beautiful woman, she was like a former beauty queen, so stunning, was her smile. Like, she literally had one of the most beautiful smiles in the world. And I remember watching her and just thinking, wow, you're so beautiful, you look so happy, that smile of yours. So to hear that she had killed herself just 2 years later, I was like, rah, something doesn't make sense. And then it started to come out that the pressures of social media had got into her. She was getting trolled on a daily basis, people leaving her negative, hateful comments. The work that she was getting from social media had died down since, you know, obviously the show, she'd been on it 2 years. She wasn't getting as many likes on Instagram. She wasn't getting booked for as many jobs in the real world. and it was really getting to her. On top of that, you add the trolls that are literally like, you should go kill yourself, you're nothing, you're ugly, your career has died, and really just rubbing it in on a daily basis. And it's like you can't really get away from it, because you've got to keep your, you know, social media platforms open, because now you're doing this as a career, you're doing this for work, but you can't block everybody, and there's no way you can stop yourself from reading it before you block them. Even if you're going to block them, you can't stop yourself from seeing it. And it's so sad, because she had a fiance, she had someone that, you know, loved her, and they were building a life together, and just one day, probably one comment, that just broke her, and she took her own life. Like, yo, whoa, why am I crying? Like, I guess this is hitting home. It's a bit close to the heart. I didn't realise it would be, but having lost a friend to suicide, it does kind of, it does kind of break my heart that people are getting to the point where they feel like they have no more hope in the world. And it's sad when you love someone and you don't realise how bad things are. Like with my friend, it wasn't a case on social media, you know, that got to her. It was other things. But anyway, like, what I wanted to say today before I lost my damn mind, what I wanted to say today is, think before you post. Think before you try in tears. Off. I'm gonna turn it off. So I lost my eyelashes and quite a bit of my makeup. I guess my eyelash glue was not waterproof, neither was my mascara. So yeah, I did not I did not think I would get that emotional about this. But basically, I just want to say to people, think before you post. And it's not just about me, because I'm pretty strong, I can kind of handle it, but people are killing themselves. Kids are killing themselves because they're being bullied in school, they're being trolled on Facebook. You know, people are losing their lives because of unkind words. And it's so sad to me that people will tear you down just to make themselves feel better, or just because, you know, they don't realise the impact of their words. Your words hurt, and I can say that from personal experience. Words hurt. Even the people that love me and are trying to be positive and like analyse your relationship and everything, or why didn't he come to pick you up, or why didn't, it hurts, okay? So think before you type, because these 7 or so YouTubers that I've seen have said they're battling with depression, their mental health isn't as strong as it needs to be. I don't want to wake up, you know, one day and hear that they lost the battle and they lost their lives, and, you know, because people online just didn't think about the impact of their actions. People have feelings, no matter how distant you may be from them, because, you know, you're typing through a computer screen, you're typing through your phone, and you feel like, oh well, you know, things that you would never say to somebody in the real life, don't say to them just because you're sitting behind the keyboard. Your words hurt. Don't let somebody lose their life because you just called them a fucking nasty, ugly. Don't do it. Don't steal somebody's future just because of a few unkind words on social media. So yeah, at the same time, you guys that are commenting or watching the influencers, that's a message for you. But a message for other influencers is stay strong. Don't compare yourself. Try not to, I know it's hard, but try not to read the negativity. If it starts and you see it's going down a negative path, block and delete. let's keep ourselves sane. Let's be our brother's keeper. I can't fight every battle on my channel, you know. If you see somebody going at me ham and they're really being negative, it means so much when I see that somebody else is sticking up for me and that I don't have to fight every battle for myself. Do that for your favorite influencers. If you see them being attacked, remind them that they're loved. Remind them that you appreciate what they do. Remind them that you appreciate that they come out here and they open their lives up to be attacked, and that, you know, not everybody feels the same way the trolls do. So yeah. I can't believe I just did that. But yeah, at least my curls came out good. My makeup though is gone to pieces. Yeah, this hair is still linked in my description box. I would say I'm looking good and feeling good, but we all know that would be a lie. I need to go and think and chill. I miss my best friend. Miss her every day. And I thank her for educating me on, you know, mental health and mental illness, because I didn't really understand it, and I think in the black community it's not really understood. Like, she left behind 2 little boys that she loved beyond anything in this world, and I know that for her to do that, she must have been in a really dark place. So yeah, watch out for people around you. That's one of my biggest regrets, not realising. I'll see you guys later.